Hello and welcome to episode 26 of our Timberborn Update 6 Wonders of Water playthrough here with the Iron Teeth in Cycle 43, Day 12. Last time we got motivated with the help of our motivatoriums and a little bit of indoctrination as well, I suppose. But today we've still got plenty of work to do to make sure that our beavers are as happy, healthy, and specifically educated as possible. So we're going to go ahead and get right on into it and talk a little bit about what still needs to be accomplished. We need to get this area ready for Reservoir expansion, and I guess I underestimated the amount of you who would be absolutely infuriated by the placement of the dirt excavators. So that's a fun thing to come across, I guess. No, like, you're not mean about it. It's just like, why do people care so much? I'm just struggling to understand that. But I guess what had happened was I thought when you said turn these things 180 degrees that you guys wanted the entrance to be against the outside wall of the map, which obviously was not going to work. So I said, oh, well, there's no reason to do that. That's not even going to work. So that's why I did it this way. What I realize now is that you guys were asking why I didn't just do this in this exact spot. Well, I don't really have a good answer for that. So that's about the size of it. I just did it this way. But what we can do once they're finished excavating this area is I can use these same platforms, kind of, and I can have it continue this way if there's still stuff left to go. If not, then I don't know, we'll figure it out. But I just thought that was funny. Like, I guess so many people like really cared about the orientation of these. Like, they're not staying here. It's a temporary thing. It's supposed to help us, you know, make this a little bit easier. It's not going to stay like this. Oh boy. Well, at any rate, we're going to continue working on getting this ready to go and figure out a way to plant more crops, because right now we're running out of kohlrabies. We don't really have a whole lot of them planted at all. Very, very small numbers. So we're going to need to plant some more. We're going to need to do a little bit more work with the landscaping, so on and so forth, and continue consolidating all of the actual beaver activities up here in our big, ugly, blissful beaver apartments. So, to help facilitate that, we finally have the pantry mod back in action. Just actually today, as of recording this video, has been updated by the illustrious Battery Smooth. So, if you don't remember, I don't remember either, but it might have been the Folktales playthrough, the last Folktales playthrough we did with the that place up here, this place down here, whatever district names, that we used the pantry, and then something broke and it just wasn't updated. But now we're good to go, so we can put this thing pretty much wherever we want, and this is going to be the ideal thing to stick in a place like this over by the mines, because we have a little bit of extra space we don't really know what to do with. So I figured, why not just stick this thing right here. It's going to hold a small amount of all the different foods, and it is complete beaver nutrition over in, I guess, the corners of the maps. So we can also do a similar thing over here, although I don't know that I want to do that quite yet, just because this area is going to be completely different in 1 or 2 episodes' time. So we'll just keep working on that. The other thing that we were starting to do was getting these tiers kind of blasted in place, and I'm not entirely sure how I want to do it. Right now, this sticks out a full 5 blocks this way, but I don't have 5 blocks worth of stuff sticking out this way, at least from this this corner of the ladder. I've got 3 here, 4, 5, and then I have 6, because this is going down onto the whatever this thing's called, bad water source. So if we want complete symmetry from the actual tower itself, not counting the overhangs or anything, then we're going to have a little bit of work cut out for us. But I think based on how this is being set up right now, we're going to want to do a little bit of modification anyway. I was thinking of just straightening this to a complete 90 degree here, fill this in, and then blast this out. then we end up moving these back. We've got some options. We got stuff to do, and we're not going to get everything finished today anyway. But it is episode 26, so we should probably start to think about how long we want this series to actually go. What's reasonable, what makes sense. I usually try to shoot for about 30. We may or may not need 30. We may need more. We may need less. But I think at the very least we should continue doing what we're doing here, trying to get this completely flattened, raised a little bit. Blast this down and everything else. But we have some problems we have to solve to make that viable. And among them is extract production, because right now we just have this one centrifuge. It's not really very centrally located, and our bad water pumping, etc. is fine, but could be a little bit better. So what I was thinking of doing is, remember over here where we had this discussion several episodes ago about stair-stepping? We could put in a couple of these platforms here, or we could decide that the bad water processing needs to have its own area entirely, but the centrifuges still have to be powered, so I'm probably not going to be too much in favor of having a separate area, because then I have to run some sort of power to it. So this area right here is supposed to be pretty much just food processing. And there's not really any food that uses, well, not really any food, there's no food that uses extract. But, depending on how you want to look at things, the advanced breeding pods use extract. Is that food? Strictly speaking, I don't know, maybe. So, I mean, we do have space right here to go ahead and do that. And put another couple of things in. So, barring some sort of, other logical leap that I have not yet made, I think it's going to make sense for us to go ahead. First of all, remember where the centrifuge is. There we go. Go ahead and just put one or two of these up here. So, as long as this isn't blocking, which it looks like it's fine, this will work okay. It's not the most perfect placement ever, but it's gonna be fine. So, we'll put a centrifuge up there, and then I think I want to put another one in, but this area is not ready for more of that, which means we have to move this ladder, which means we have to figure out how else we're going to get up there. So, seeing how this went pretty much all the way out here, I figure this probably is going to be fine if we just have other overhangs coming up like this. So if we were to go all the way over to this corner, then we could put some sort of access going up from this other bit here. Another thing that was mentioned in the comments, I know jumping around randomly, was that this square and this square don't have irrigation barriers on them. And I don't think we really need to worry about it because these do. But just wanted to acknowledge that I have read those comments. I always read the comments. And I have seen that. But another thing we were thinking about is putting in a ladder from the farm area directly here. Instead of this thing that doesn't directly connect to up here, it just kind of goes in there. So I was thinking that based on path layout, which is very much subject to change, this works okay right now, but if we want to change it later, then we're going to need some other place to put stuff. And I was thinking maybe it could go right here in this very corner. But there's just other stuff to consider. This hasn't actually been built yet, so I think what I might do... This is already here. This doesn't actually need to be here. I could blast this into the side of the cliff. Probably would be an interesting adventure anyway. So why don't we just do that? Sounds like a fun idea to me. Keep in mind, though, that we are running very much out of extract. And this is supposed to help. But we have to wait for that to get done. So let's go ahead and hit that speed boost here. 12 minutes into the episode. And actually get them to finish the centrifuge. But we're going to need to have some storage for bad water and some storage for extract up here. And I think based on the proximity to this area down here, where we kind of had the de facto breeding pod stuff set up, that it would probably be okay to put an extract tank over here. But the more I think about it, the less I think I understand. So, I don't know. Maybe that's something that needs to come over here with our breeding pods and bad water and extract stuck in the same place. Because I'm not really opposed to that. I think it's maybe going to cause us a little bit of problems here, depending on how we want to set stuff up. But like, there's just so many little things that we could pretty easily fix. Like, say this stack of ladders here. If we want to have a path coming this way, then, well, this is going to be in the way. So, what do you do about that? Do we need to move it at all? Probably not. Will we anyway? Yeah, probably. So, if I get rid of this, then all I've got to do to fix that problem is rotate 90 degrees. And there you go. Now I can have this come out this way, which leaves me, we've got 3, 6, 9, 12 spots in between, which is enough, not vertical clearance-wise, but is enough to put in 4 large tanks. Wait, what? Seriously, that fits? I didn't think that would fit at all. Alright. Well, that's a deep subject. Yeah, okay. So now consider me to be thoroughly surprised and interested. If I put a large tank here and a large tank here, I could have a tank for bad water and a tank for extract. And then maybe in the middle we put our what do you call them? Yeah, that's definitely a scientific term. I do think I like that idea. I'll turn this way. And, nope, come on. This way and this way. Yeah. Bad water and then extract right there. And I've got 6 in the middle here. That I don't technically have to... Ah, bad tide. I don't technically have to put all of our breeding pods up here, but I think that might be a better way to go about it. So what I'm going to do... I'm going to have these guys built like this. 12 of these advanced breeding pods should be enough to sustain us long term if our well-being gets high. If it's already at 49, which for vanilla-ish is pretty high, we're just going to want to keep our eye on this stuff. I'm going to start decommissioning these pods once they start putting beavers out here. Just have to kind of keep our eye on things. Yeah, see, like this one, gone. Let them take care of all this stuff. Treated plank-wise, we don't have enough to build everything right now anyways, so I guess that's okay. But we want to space these out. So, we have this one. If we did one... What are these? 5 days? Is it 5 days, I think? Well, I guess we could check. It's currently... we'll call this 4 o'clock. I know that's not actually what it corresponds to, but the 4 o'clock position on day 15... How long does it take for this one to be completely finished? Because it's waiting for... Ah, it's waiting for extract. Okay. Well. I guess we'll let these all get completed and filled up, and then I'll pause everything but one. I want to space these out so we don't have birth waves and death waves. Although, if it's advanced breeding pods, I don't think it matters. It actually super doesn't matter. Because they're not going to be kids. We don't have to wait for them to grow up, so who cares? Okay. So I guess we're just going to have a super huge refresh of beavers every so often. Except since we don't have any extract, then maybe it will actually space it out. Ah. Well, maybe that's a happy accident then. Who knows? I could just choose to completely ignore that, so it's probably the smarter way to do it anyway. Alright, so you just finished? Yeah, we'll just keep an eye on this. I'm maybe it's 10 days instead of 5 days. You know what? 10 days would make sense. Because the default amount of time, the default amount of resources a beaver consumes in 1 day is 2 on normal mode. So, wait a second, that's the opposite of how that math would work. Look, math is hard, man. Math is so hard. So, at least this is, I guess, technically, maybe working. It's been almost a full day. Almost a full day. How far has that gone? Not quite a fifth of the way. In fact, not quite a fifth of the way. It could even be like a seventh of the way. I don't know. But there's nothing else going on in the rest of these, so I suppose it's fine. We'll just leave it alone, and I'm gonna pretend like I know what I'm doing. And that guy's almost done. Getting there. So these three are probably all gonna pop at the same time. So meanwhile, back at the ranch, I almost forgot to put in this one here. We're supposed to be getting this whole area ready for expansion. So that's going to require one more this way. Just got to be responsible because we don't have a whole lot of extract. Yeah, you know what? We're not going to worry about those. Those, however, just about finished. These lumberjack flags, they probably don't need to be... There's just so much stuff for us to do. I keep getting distracted. Oh, the perils of playing Timberborn. Just about done, just about done. That one is done, so goodbye. That one should be done in just a moment. Goodbye. Just a moment. And goodbye. Okay, what about the rest? That one just restarts. We'll go ahead and say goodbye. Should be there sometime today. See, these, probably not. I'm so impatient waiting for this stuff is the problem. Well, it's fine because that's just about gone. Why do you keep clicking on these things? They're not going to go faster. Look. Look. It's just a thing. Like when you're hungry and you go into your refrigerator and you open it and you're like, man, there's nothing to eat. So then you close it and then about 30 seconds later you open it again. It's like, what do you expect to happen in that span of time? There's nothing going to magically appear in your refrigerator in that span of time without you putting it there. Unless you, I don't know, you have a gas leak and you just forget or something. But it's just wild how like our brains work with regard to stuff like that. Anyway, anybody else that can have their breeding pods removed here? No, some of you are going to have a field day with that phrasing. But anyway, this one should be complete now. There it is. All 12 of these are up and running. We should see a massive population boost sometime during this episode. Remember, we're a little bit less than half of our goal target population of 500. So that's what I'm shooting for. Hopefully we'll get there. Maybe not today. Well, definitely not today, because that's a really short amount of time to get 500 beavers. We're working on getting this ready to go. That's a slow process because we don't have extract. But it shouldn't be impossible. Go ahead and detonate this, because then I can have that go down at the same time. But these are all ready to go. And then while we're on the subject, I can do these singles without having extract. Bad tide time. So, since I took that away here, how much pollution is it going to bring down into this area? So I can see these twigs. I guess that's the sign of a full-grown bush, huh? I don't know, I never really paid attention to the twigs. So maybe that's just, me not remembering stuff, which, that never happens. Let's see. Okay, these just restarted, that's fine. Then I think, these, yep, just restarted. We're getting there, folks. Making our way one bit at a time. Alright, so this is starting to look pretty good. Remember that we only have the land go out to here for the purposes of fitting these 5x5 metal platforms in. So I do only need to blast out to this bit here. So we won't need to have a completely stupid setup. Only a slightly stupid setup. It's like, a lot of this is just like, come on, man, why are you doing it that way? I probably should also start filling this in. Oh, you know what? I didn't need to do the outside. Boo. Boo. There's no reason for this. No reason for me to have done that. I just did it. It's fine. The rest of this is going to have to come around the long way. But that gives them something to do with all the dirt. So I guess we can't be too upset about it. I do want to put this ladder in place here, though. And then I guess by proxy this one also can go away, because that's not doing anything. Actually, no. That stays, because that's in the side of the cliff, and I'm blasting into the cliff. Almost done. That one's taken care of. Good, good, good. What about this guy? Almost done. Now what about our progress here? Okay. Okay, so they're not that stacked on top of each other in terms of finishing time, but they're also all grouped relatively in the same area, excuse me. So I guess that's going to be something we've got to deal with. Alright, so I have treated planks. Fine, I'll just use this again. We've got some stuff to do. I guess I'll have to start... Actually, no. If they can come across that way, then I can just do this whole thing. Let's put our irrigation barriers all over here and try to protect these trees. This is going to go away as well. Actually, no. I don't need to keep that little bit of path there, because now we don't need to get across. So... away it goes. That will pave the way for us to figure out further modifications of this area for the purpose of tree farming. Our amount of wood products is, or wood for making products is decreasing rather steeply. Alright, so that just needs a single blast here. And then we will go ahead and get rid of these. And then this can go along with... Actually, no, that holds up stuff. Never mind. Just about to say we can't get rid of that. This ladder here probably needs to go away, but I'm thinking... It's always dangerous. No, because there's a path here. This can go away. We're going to end up blasting this down at some point. Just to get everything all situated, ready to go. Hey, remember when I said I was going to get rid of these? And I stopped paying attention to them? Alright. So that's it. No more kids, ever. No more beaver children. Beaver adults only. Which does kind of render the campfires to be a little bit useless. Except for fulfilling a need, because these, supposedly, I've always heard, and now I'm questioning it, now that I say it out loud, these helped the kits to grow up quicker. I don't know. I can't believe that I wouldn't know that after having played hundreds and hundreds of hours of Timberborn that has been documented in almost its entirety on the internet. I got nothing. So now, it's like, you know, you encounter some sort of information that just fundamentally alters your worldview. And I'm not talking about, like, conspiracy theory stuff or whatever. But just, like, I never even thought about that. Makes you think a little bit in other ways. At any rate, this campfire can go away at some point soon because we're going to have to move stuff up here. But I think having the breeding where most of the beavers are all the time is a smart choice. Along with plenty of storage for bad water, which they are not using. Extract, which they're not using. Well, okay, they are, but it's not quite filling it up. How are we doing here? I guess they're going to be working on that one for a while, huh? Well, regardless, I've got to let them get that down first. And then I guess I'm going to have to think about how I want this to get handled here. Because that's always the deal with the suspension bridges. You can build down or to the side from them. So in theory, I'd only need a couple of them in here. Take care of the rest of this. But now I find myself in this weird spot where I've kind of painted myself into a corner with the demolitions. I don't really know what I'm going to be doing with that. This is this height. This height is one below that. But I'm trying to build this to be the same height as this when I probably should have it be the same height as this. I don't know, man. Now I'm finding myself asking all these questions. Like, I feel like I should raise this entire bit here up one. That's going to take a lot of dirt that, oh, they also can't get out because I'm not having the dirt go anywhere. So, what that's going to mean is it's time to go ahead and have this stuff fill up a whole lot more. If I can even get this in the right spot here. Can they access all this? I always get afraid of, you know, getting a beaver trapped somewhere. Trying to set this stuff up the way that I've been trying to set it up. I need this. I need these trees to get cut down, and I guess they're not doing it quickly enough. But what do we care? This is working reasonably well. Got hungry beavers? How are you hungry? We got almost 10,000 food. What we don't have is kohlrabies, because those don't grow and get harvested quick enough. We've got our work cut out for us, man. There's so much to do. Now I realize setting all of this off at once probably was not a smart choice. So I think what we're going to have to do here, extend this path around like we are used to doing. Let them bring that stuff in. And then I guess we're just going to have to put in those bridges. I know it's a lot of logs and it's a lot of planks, but I think, yeah, this is going to work out reasonably well. Not perfectly well, but reasonably well. So let's go ahead and take care of that. And then, as much as it pains me to say it, we might need/want to do a time-lapse on the blasting of this just so we can have something done. Because if I just sit here and talk over doing this, it's going to take us 3 episodes. So I guess that's what we're going to do. It just seems like the thing that's going to make the most sense. Blasting this out, getting prepared for making this the next part of the reservoir. Putting in, I think I'm not going to need another irrigation pond thing, but we'll see what happens. And I guess however long it takes, I'll catch you on the other side. Alright, so we're back out of our time lapse here, and you can see the massive amount of progress that we made. So I'm glad we did that. Even though it took, I don't know, 45 minutes in real life and me just sitting here staring at the screen. We did get a lot of the land blasted out. There's still some left for the terraformers thingies to take care of. And we have the same pattern that we used over here. Started, at the very least. I've been stockpiling some metal to get that taken care of once we start putting the 5x5s on top. But I did want to do this part in the live play portion. And that is, I think, I mean, we're not going to need to, but I think I want to relocate this bit here. Remember what we did over here with our automatic watering type deal? Take this all the way down. We have our 3x3 thing right here. And then as we go up, you'll see that we have platforms, and then we just have the farmhouse, and there's no water dump because this thing has been replaced by this thing, which is, of course, just a sluice, some levees, and then a platform and a waterproof floor. So I want to duplicate that over here, and that's going to require moving the whole one block to the right. Well, okay, it doesn't require it, but it's going to take away the least amount of our arable spaces to do that. So that will mean filling this in as well, just very simply, and then we will blast this 2 blocks deep. Not that it really matters, but that's what I have over here. And that will additionally allow us to put in this platform right where the fluid dump is to support the 5x5 platforms. So that's going to work there. I did decide that the very corner of this reservoir was going to be a ladder, and that was going to allow us to get up top much quicker. So that is in line here. We do have the tool that has these things. I didn't use it in the time lapse, but I did. I just wanted to remind you that I do know it exists. I just usually don't use it. And we have this guy here that we did put in. The centrifuge isn't exactly a fast thing because we haven't prioritized it by haulers, and that's my fault. So we'll do that, and then we'll do the bad water pumps as well. So our advanced breeding pods have raised the population a little bit, but it's only about half what it needs to be still, which I really thought it was going to be going up a whole lot more. So we're going to need to put in a second level of these. And I'm not really sure that it's going to fit right, but I do want to try. I know we do have the ability to run a path through here to get these guys on top of other stuff if we feel so inclined. But this space right here may not support another layer. It might not. So I think we're just kind of stuck with this bit here. We can add more if we feel so inclined, but they're going to have to probably be somewhere else. So just wanted to address that because I know that was something that was going to come up in discussion. We'll figure that out probably next episode as we continue working. So we can start putting in the 5x5s, but I did want to go ahead, like I said, and take care of moving this over one. But then we also have the issue of getting the rest of this area blasted out. These haven't dug out everything I want them to dig out yet, so we're going to let them run a little bit more, but I don't want to have it do too much, because then I have to fill land back in. So we got to find another spot to put these things, or at least one of them. And I did some thinking while I'm sitting there staring at the screen, and I think in the corner here is probably going to be our best bet. It's got easy access to power, relatively, and this kind of corner area here is likely to be the most forgotten part of the map in terms of, hey, we should do something over here. So I think I'm going to end up not putting it on the very edge, although I could actually just put it on the very edge here, as long as we can get power down, which I think is not going to be a problem, because, you know, if I put this here, try to get this to actually stay, Come on, man. I think here is about, yeah, that's about the limit left to right. But then the power can come down pretty simply, probably from this nub right here. And then we'll make that happen. But we are going to have it offset just a touch because of the supports. So I guess actually right here is going to be about where it has to go. No, it doesn't have to be at this exact level, but I am going to go ahead and just earmark this spot with some dynamite. And then we'll blast down, depending on where this ends up. But I didn't want to forget that this is where I was going to put it. And it's going to be mostly clean. Mostly clean for us to have this power shaft go down. I did kind of want it to just be a straight shot thing, but we'll come back to this at some point to make that happen. I also put in this bit here of dirt because I felt like not waiting for that in the future. We are going to, of course, continue putting stuff in, but we're going to need a lot more dirt, which is why it's so important for us to have these centrifuges up and running. And there's all sorts of other stuff I was going to do, and then I just didn't do it. You know, that ever happens to you, happens to me constantly. And it's exhaustively documented on the internet because I've made almost 1,000 videos. Pretty bonkers, you think about it. It's a whole lot of videos. But point being, I've got space here to put another centrifuge if I feel like it, and then I've got space to put, once this is done, not that, once this is done, I can put another set of these little ones, then put another warehouse or a tank, and tank's probably going to be the best option. So, the last little bit of cleanup we've got to do is getting all of this land removed, then of course power shafts and all that stuff. But these bridges did very, very well. Very, very well. That was a good choice to stick with that. So I think just as soon as we decide we're finished with these excavators, which probably isn't going to be right now, but soon, then we can start reclaiming the rest of this land. I think in terms of dynamite, I might have enough to get this area flat, but the extract is going to be the big one. These terrain blocks here should be done soon-ish, and that's going to massively shorten the trip to get up here to plant more dynamite, and then technically not shorten the trip to get to here, because I haven't connected it that way, but this is also already here, so it's fine. Now I just gotta figure out how exactly we're gonna do all of the rest of this. But I will go ahead, since we're already here, and just place in some metal platforms so the builders can, well, build. But not this one yet, because I do have to readjust the hole. Just want to give these guys a little bit more time before we get too comfortable, because keep in mind, as soon as we get rid of those, we have to build another one if we want more dirt blocks. And technically should be putting these up on top of dirt as well. But I'm not exactly sure how that's going to work. I could, and probably should, just have this last bit on top of a 3x3 platform here. I just did it this way because it was going to be, I guess, cheaper, and it wouldn't throw the pattern off, so this is probably fine. Actually, no, I was wrong. It's not fine, because then the front little bit's not going to have access to anything, so this path here, which the pathways probably need to be completely thrown out and redone. This path is going to end up going in here, so I lied. I lied. We're going to have to put in a whole bunch more terrain blocks right here, and it's going to use all the dirt, and it's a whole thing. But hopefully that's not too much of a pain in the butt to take care of. Hard to judge depth, but I think we're probably pretty close, to be perfectly honest with you. I just want to make sure we're not doing anything completely stupid. Little stupid's okay, because that's fun, but completely stupid? No. And I did say I was going to try to straighten this as well, but I think that's going to have to wait for the next episode. Try my best to do at least something. But I'm finding that I'm running out of a whole lot of resources that I'm supposed to be using for this. So, once again, it's going to take them a while to build this stuff. That's probably just going to end up being background stuff. I don't want to do another time-lapse for today's episode. But that'll get taken care of, in addition to possibly building this next stack of flywheels, but we don't need the power right now, so I think it's okay. The situation here with the bad water pumps, probably going to require another couple of those, but I'm not exactly sure how I want to do it. So it's going to be one of those things that we're going to have to figure out at some point. Put on our thinking caps, etc. And do all of that. So, I mean, I really want to just get these things out of here before they're too low, but I know they still got a little bit of room to go. So instead, I think it's going to be time now to take this out and go ahead and blast. So, doubles. Take this out as well. But the platforms I'm going to have to leave. I guess this is going to be fine. I know before we have this thing set up again over here, I'm going to have to put that dump back in, but I did want this stuff to all be the correct depth before we go any further. I can always rebuild it. But that's going to be one of those things that we've just got to go ahead and take care of. So that's going to go there. Once I place these, then I can get rid of the platforms, then I can detonate everything at once. But we got to wait. Got to make it happen. So hopefully they can do that sooner rather than later. Otherwise our crops are going to die here. Which I personally would like very much not to happen. Okay, that's looking good. That's looking good. Put in my last two here. Yeah, just get those ready to go. Well, I guess I could go ahead and set this off. The water is going to get a little funky, but I think we're going to be fine. So, this now is going to be double. And then this is going to end up, for right now, until I can build the other thing, I'm going to have to take... Oh, because this is my access for up here. Oops, that was a mistake. That was definitely a mistake. How am I going to get myself out of this? I guess what I'm going to have to do, just to do this the right way. Do I have... Would it even allow me to do this? Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that, and then I'll take this mess out here. Because we've got to start blasting down here. So that this is going to have to come down 6. These two are going to have to come down... No, more than 6. They're going to have to come down 8. I forgot, because this back here is what we're really looking for. Okay. I've got extract. I've got other stuff ready to go. Just got to have access to these guys. It might actually be faster that way. Because I do have to put in the support to be right here. So that's going to end up doing this, and then on top of that here. But now that I have to actually come up here to get stuff detonated, maybe I should have thought a little bit more about this. Oh well, you know what my videos are about. You signed up for it. So you know what we're doing here. You know what's going on. There's no secrets here. I'm gonna put this farmhouse back in. This doesn't have to have a platform on it, so I probably won't. But that's fine there. And then it's really not going to matter where I put the dump from above. But I'm thinking... I'm thinking just above this path right here is probably going to make the most sense. If I want to line it up, I guess I could. I don't know if this is the very, very middle. Oh, it is. Okay. Well, then maybe not above the path. Maybe we'll just put it above here. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We'll just do what we got to do. Good news, though, is that this could go away. Already making some good strides. All we gotta do is just clear this, make it ready, and we'll be in good shape. These guys still have to do some excavation, but hopefully there's not too much more. I think I got this guy. I probably have 3 full levels. This guy might have 2 full levels and a partial one. Or no, the corner is actually... This corner is actually 2 blocks deeper than this one, so that one could be pretty much there. Well, no matter. We're just doing what we can do. I think they can reach that other one from up top here, so that's going to be 2 down. Might as well go ahead and place all of these as 2s as well. Just get this thing all figured out. That's looking good. As soon as they've gotten this out of here, then I can put in... Aha! I made a mistake. This is supposed to be flipped. That's the only way that was going to work. Because then I can take this piece of platform out until we have the mechanism completely finished. Oh, that might have been a mistake. Let's fix that real quick. There we go. Get those last bits in place and we'll be A-okay. All right. So those pieces are all finished, taken care of. Let's plop down our fluid dump after I remove this path here. And that'll keep these guys healthy, ready to go until I can put everything else in. Now the only question is what to do about all of this. I've got 225 dirt, which should be enough to take care of all of our needs over here. But when we start to really ramp up all of our wood stuff on this side, which, you know, we probably don't need to do, strictly speaking. But we're going to do it anyway, because why not? Right? We talked about the Mythbusters thing a couple episodes ago, I'm pretty sure. It being fun and interesting to overdo things to a stupid degree. So, let these guys handle that. And I think we're probably about at a good spot to end for today. So, tell you what. We'll do our end of episode stuff over a time-lapse. Pardon the cut there. I did have to sneeze in the middle of a sentence, and that did not sound good. So, I'm going to avoid putting that in the video. But I appreciate you guys being here. And I really, really hope that you're enjoying what we're doing here. I think from what the comments are saying, most of you are. So, that's exciting. I've not done these mega build, quote-unquote, mega build projects like this before. So, a fun, new, exciting thing for us to try. Your support makes it possible, of course, Beard Boosters, you already know the drill. But it really is not possible for me to commit so much time. I'm not going to say this is hard work because it's fun. But some of these take a really, really long amount of time, like the water beavers especially. I'm on like a 1 hour of content takes 6 hours to make thing with that now. But we're almost done with the series, and then we can get back to the real-time stuff when we start fresh. But it really, truly is not possible to do it without your help. So I really appreciate your support. Beard Boosters, of course, like we said. And everyone who's bought the mugs. It was just a funny idea somebody had in a live stream comment a couple months back. Like, hey, you know what? We could do that. We could do that. So hopefully hopefully you guys get those soon. It's very, very fun to see products with the inside jokes that we've been having fun with for the past. Well, I guess that one's probably what, 4 or 5 months old at this point. I actually don't remember when the first time I would have said it just takes time was, but it definitely seems like a water beaver thing. Anyway, I digress. Really appreciate all of your support. Whatever it is you're doing with the rest of your day, stay safe, have fun, and we'll see you very, very soon for the next one. P.S. Satisfactory starts tomorrow night for more streams because it's Fixmas and we got stuff to do. Hope to see you there. Take care, friends. Bye-bye.